Let me open today by talking to you about some of the mindset around recruiting. Here's my plan for today. My plan number one is to give you some ideas of how you can shift your mindset. Number two, you're going to hear from Ed Milet. Make sure your friends are connected because it's going to be epic. Number three, I'm going to give you some training on how to close, because by now you should have had some people that at least have heard something or seen something and have a little bit of an interest. How many people have someone who's thinking about your business as a result of this challenge? Give me a number 2 in the comments if you have somebody who's thinking about it. Lots and lots of 2s. Great. I will help you in the second half of today turn those people thinking about it to skillfully helping them get involved with it. Okay? So tune in for that. But first of all, let's talk about mindset a bit. I really needed to trick my mind in order to have better recruiting success. I'll give you some of the strategies that really worked for me in becoming a better recruiter. Now, many of the people you're hearing this week are much better recruiters in volume than I ever was. But I will tell you, I think the principles and the concepts stand the test of time. They last for forever. And I've paid attention to what works for other people. And inside of that process, it's a lot of the same stuff. First of all, decide that you're going to be more of a farmer than you are a hunter. That you develop relationships. What's one of the common themes that you see over and over and over again over the course of this week? These people are not hunting anybody. They're building friendships. They're building relationships. They're having real conversations. And as a result of those real conversations, they're able to have more people take a look at what they do. And I want you to think, have you ever known a consultant? Have you ever either been or known somebody who's been a consultant? Put a number 3 into the comments if you know somebody who's been a consultant. Maybe they're a business consultant or a topic consultant, you or somebody else. Most of you. Now, if you were going to consult me on some topic that I was interested in and I wanted to improve in, what would you do first? If you're a consultant, what would you do first? Put it into the comments. What would you do first? Would you try to sell me something? No. You'd try to find the need. You'd ask a lot of questions. You would be trying to figure out, what are my problems and can you help me solve those problems? Right? That's what you would do. Find out what my needs are. See if you have a solution for me. And let's say, after listening to me, you did not have a solution for me. Okay? There was no fit between what you had and what I needed. What would you do then? What would you do then? Put it into the comments. What would you do then? You'd either refer that person to someone else, or you'd say, we're not a fit, and that's okay. You'd refer someone to a solution that would be great for them, but would you feel rejected as a consultant? Yes or no? You wouldn't feel rejected. It's just not a fit. Or let's say you're a consultant and you do have a solution for them, but they're not listening. They're not following what it is that you are offering them as a solution to their problem. Let's say you have a solution, but they're not listening. What would you do then? Put it in the comments. What would you do then? You'd go to the next one. It's their loss. You'd shake their hands and say, I wish you the best. If in the future you'd like to come back and check out what I offer, then fantastic, do that. But if they're not ready, you're not going to be upset about them not being ready. So I want you to think of yourself as more of a consultant than you are a recruiter. The recruiting result is the beginning of the solution that you offer. It's part of the solution that you offer. Your products are a solution. Your opportunity is a solution. But one, it might not be a fit for them. Maybe it's not a fit because they've tried something in the past. Maybe it's not a fit because they're tied to some corporate job. Maybe it's not a fit because they just can't get clear in their mind what this would look like. Maybe it's not a fit. And if it's not a fit, wish them the best. Okay? If it is a fit, after you've asked a lot of questions and you've found out what their need is, and you know that your solution will help them meet that need, and they won't listen to you in order to be able to fully benefit from the solution that you have, then shake their hands and let them go. See, when you need to be solution oriented versus result oriented in this scenario. You're providing a solution to that potential recruit or that potential customer. Some of them, it's not going to be a fit. Some of them aren't going to listen. And you'll never feel, as a consultant, you won't feel a sense of rejection. If you approach it as a consultant versus approaching it as a quote unquote recruiter. Does this make sense? If this is making sense to you, put a number 5 into the comments if this makes sense to you. Okay, do you feel the shift? It's a very important shift. We're here to provide service. Not everybody's going to be open to it. That's fine. Our job is to sort through who is open and willing to listen and who's not. And all of that's okay. So, second thing I want to tell you is you need to flip a switch in your mind that some people come into this with a scarcity mentality, number one, and they come into it with, I need to, they kind of beg. And I did the same thing. They kind of beg. It's like, please, will you look at my business? Please, sir. Please, ma'am, will you look at my opportunity? Please, will you evaluate my product? Please watch my video. Please attend the Zoom. Please, 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 please. Now, first of all, consultants don't beg like that. Being that needy is not attractive. If you're looking to date somebody, male or female, and they're super needy, it's the biggest kryptonite ever. It's no good if they're super needy. And too many of us are acting like they have the gift to give us as with their time, with their effort, with their energy. They're giving us the gift. You've got to switch your mind to the point that you, as a consultant, you have the gift. You have the gift. You have the gift of your product that'll solve a major problem in their life. You have the gift with the opportunity. You have the gift of them being able to gain access to you. You have the gift. Kelly writes in the comments, posture. Yes. Shoulders back, chest out, chin up. You've got the gift. Now, when you get clear in your mind, number one, you're a consultant more than you are a salesperson or a recruiter. Number two, you have the gift. Everything changes. Everything changes. The third thing that helped me, and let me know when we're ready to go. The third thing is to realize that there's unlimited people in the world. And you have the ability to reach them all. You have the ability to help them all. Not all are going to be open to it, but your job is to educate as many people as possible. You know what our job is in prospecting? What is our job? What are we trying to accomplish as a consultant? What are we trying to accomplish? See if you know the answer. Put it in the question. From not knowing to knowing, yes. To meet the needs, conversations, inform, educate. Yes, educate. Most of you are getting this. To educate the person, the prospect, to the point that they understand what it is that you have. That's what we're here to do. We're here to educate people. Our greatest value in network marketing is our ability to help uneducated people to become educated. People who are ignorant about our profession to being knowledgeable. People who did not understand to understand. That's what we do. That's our job, is to get people to do that. Now, for me, I got to tell you, the biggest thing was when I started, I made my list, right? And I remember making a list of 100 people. And I started to drain the list. And every time I crossed a name off, they said no, they said no, they said no, they said no. Every time I crossed them off, it was an issue for me emotionally. But once I realized it's an abundant world, we have unlimited people to be able to talk to. And as you're building a team, there's some people that are just going to be able to transform your team. You just have to be able to reach them. You just have to be willing to go out and educate them. You have to be willing to serve, understanding that you have the gift. Okay? So those are some good little mindset things to kind of shift your mindset as we go. So what I want to do now is bring in our special guest, the man, the myth, Ed Milet. How you doing, buddy?
I'm so good, Eric. It's great to finally be with you in person, man. I've been a fan of yours for so long. It's great to be with you.
Well, I've been a fan of yours, and it's so spooky that we've never connected officially. I mean, we have so many mutual friends and so many different colleagues. It's just crazy. I saw the interview you did with Dean, 2-3 weeks ago, or at least that's when I saw it. And I was with him at his house. I don't know. A week after the fact, he was still talking about you. And then, isn't he great? So, for those of you who don't know Ed, best-selling author, wildly successful. What was it? Forbes or Fortune was, the top 50 under 50 or something?
Yeah, I think before, I'm old now. I'm over 50. I'm 50. So before that, it used to be a big deal. It was Forbes, I think, did the 50th wealthiest people under 50 years old.
Yeah. So you've done very, very, very well. And what I like about you is not only have you done well, but you're still in the game. Mm-hmm. I talked to a friend of mine, AJ Gupta. Do you know AJ?
I know of him. Yes.
Okay. So I talked to him a couple days ago, and he had sold his business and doing some projects with Tony Robbins, different types of things, and retired. And I said, "What is that like?" Mm-hmm. He said, "Well, I'm out of the grind, but I'm still in the game." Okay. So he's not doing the pain as much painful stuff. So I don't even know what retirement kind of even looks like. I saw you say something. Somebody asked you why you still do, work as hard as you work and try to contribute as hard as you do, because you're kind of a competitive person and kind of a athlete at heart, and you're still kind of wanting to be in the game. And like me, I can't imagine not doing what I'm doing for, until I can't do it anymore, literally, physically. That's the way I kind of look at life. But Ed, let's get into it. This group, we did a 7-day recruiting challenge. This is day 5 of a 7-day recruiting challenge. And we want them to go out there and succeed. And I thought that bringing you in, and for everybody's sake, just understand that Ed is going to be coming to GoPro December during the window, December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I'm not going to tell you which day he's going to be speaking, but he's going to be one of the keynotes at GoPro. It's going to be amazing. So Ed, why don't you just you introduce yourself to this community, and then whichever way you'd want to take it for them to really, I love the whole max out your life thing, you know, and with recruiting and building teams, that's one of the biggest leverage points, that and duplication and leadership, the biggest leverage points in order to be able to create wealth inside of network marketing. So I'll pass it to you, and then we can maybe bounce back and forth.
Awesome, brother. Yeah, you asked me to go about 15 minutes, so I clear my throat in about 14. So I'm going to try to get as much info in here as I can.
Yeah, you go until until you gotta go.
No.
I understand.
I guess introduction wise, if you don't know much about me, maybe just check out my social media. I do have also one of the top entrepreneurial business self-improvement podcasts in the world. I just announced the deal that I've done with Sirius and Stitcher. It's the second biggest podcast deal that's probably ever been done other than Rogan. And so I have a highly listened to show. Dean was on this week. Michael Strahan's on. Next week's Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank. The following week is Mark Cuban. The next week is Joel Osteen. So I have some really interesting guests that we sort of, conversate together about life. And it's more like listening to two successful people than just an interviewer and a successful person. It's sort of a cool dynamic the way we do the show. I made my chops as an entrepreneur, and I've got a multiple 8-figure net worth. I've got a pretty large net worth, 9-figure, excuse me, building teams. So my first business for 2 decades was a version of a network marketing business where I recruited and built a very large team of people. And so my forte is in developing, recruiting, building, and developing people. That's my home. In fact, I was just on a call. The reason I was a couple minutes late was I was actually consulting for a network marketing company right now and doing a call for them. So that's sort of, the place that I feel the most comfortable and the most home. I've got tech businesses. I've got a candy business. I've got a nutritional company, a chip business. I've got a medical device company. I've coached people from around the world, athletes, entertainers, politicians. 6 a.m. this morning, I was on a call with someone that I coach, used to run a country, pretty big one. So I've got a great life. I've got a really rich life. I learned all those lessons though in building teams and interacting with people. And so I'm just a big believer in what you all do. I believe that it's the greatest business model that's ever been created, and there's nothing even close. And by the way, and then I believe the winds are at our back. I believe now with the advent of this technology, you take a recruiting and building business model, you strap onto that a good product and concept, you got something. You strap onto that technology where now you can, in a flash of a second, talk to anybody you want from anywhere in the world at any time you want to, and you have the convergence of the greatest business model by far that has ever existed before. And I'm going to talk about that at the conference in great detail. I'm going to elaborate to you why I believe that's true and why I think you're looking at maybe 1% market penetration for the industry over the next 10 years. I believe it can grow 100-fold. I actually believe that. And I think I'll prove it to you. I think you're going to find that more and more people will gravitate to this business model because of the incomes we can make without the overhead, without the leverage, without the debt, that businesses that require that debt, leverage, and overhead just don't produce anymore. They just don't produce. And pandemics can put you out of business real quick when you're in those other businesses, and they don't do anything negative to us. In fact, the winds at our back is more people want to work out of their home. So even when adversity hits, we're better. When the economy's bad, we're better. When the economy's good, we're better. So we're agile. So what I want to talk about today, obviously, I believe the number one thing you got to do is grow yourself. So I'm going to just touch on that, and I'm going to give you recruiting and building tips. That's what I want to do today, just for a few minutes, and Eric and I can go back and forth, and I'll give you a challenge as well. But I want to talk to you a little bit really hardcore here about recruiting, because that's sort of what I had prepped to do. But before I do that, I just want to say one thing. You have to grow you. Why? Your identity is the thoughts, concepts, and beliefs that you hold to be most true about you. That's what your identity is, okay? And I can give you the greatest business model, the greatest products, the greatest mentors, the greatest access to everything I possibly can. And let's say that I give you identities like this, better said, identities like this thermostat sitting on my wall right here. It is set at 72 degrees right now. It's a thermostat setting. You know what controls the setting of this room? That thermostat. You know what controls the setting of your life? Your identity, period. Not outside conditions. I'll prove it to you. If it's 100 degrees outside and hot air is starting to blow into this room, do you know what happens? This room doesn't become 100 degrees because I got a thermostat. The air conditioner kicks on and cools this room right back down to where it's regulated to be set. Also true, if it gets really cold and freezing air is blowing in here, the heater turns on, it heats it right back up to where we're set. That's how your life is. Your identity is that thermostat setting. The external conditions have absolutely no impact long-term on your life. None. But that thermostat setting has everything to do with it. And so here's what happens for many people. They're a 72 degree in their identity in terms of money or success or happiness. And they get into a business that's capable of providing 80, 90, 100, 150, 200 degrees of all of those things. And they start to maybe get it. And then the air conditioner turns on and cools it right back down, and they get out of it what they believe they're worth and what they deserve. That's what happens over and over. It seems coincidental. My car broke down. A new recruit went to another company. Their marriage disappeared, so she's going to take a breather for a while. No, it's not all coincidental. It's because if you had a high identity, you'd have already had 3 or 4 other recruits to replace that person, knowing that was possible. What it is you're putting the air conditioner on of your life. So if you're going to get involved, and many of you are in businesses that can produce 150 degrees of wealth, abundance, happiness, bliss, whatever it might be, you had best start to work on that thermostat setting, because you will never exceed this one. Make sense? That's why you got to work on yourself. I'm going to brag for 1 minute. I'm the best person on planet Earth to help you with that, because I'm a real world applier. I know what it's like to have low self-esteem. I come from an alcoholic, dysfunctional family. I know what it's like to be insecure, shy. In fact, I got into personal development and growing myself because I had to get to just a baseline level to be a decent, functioning, average person first. And then I became addicted to the concepts. Then I started to study it. And I was an athlete, so I understood visualization, the reticular activating system in the brain, all these other things. And God gave me the ability to articulate, communicate in a way that was pretty unique. That's one. I have like 3 or 4 gifts. That's just one of them. That's all I got. I don't have IQ. I don't have great background. I don't even have great discipline. But I do have that. And I've worked on building and developing myself to that extent. And then I teach those things to people and hopefully inspire them. And so I can help you change your thermostat setting. How? Follow my social media, my YouTube, and make sure that you're somehow engaged. I have nothing to sell you, by the way. I'm really unique in this space that I got really wealthy, not selling people crap, just offering free things. So I have nothing to sell you. So there's no hook. My stuff's all free. I have one coaching program that I offer twice a year. We open it for a day and it sells out in a day. So I have nothing to sell you. I sell you that I love you, that I care about you. And Eric, the reason that I still work doing this is I love it. I love it. My life changed. You'll hear it at the event. I'll tell you how my life changed, but like, I'm in love with helping people. I enjoy it. It's not work for me. It's my home. I'm looking at the Pacific Ocean right now. I live on the beach. I'm blessed. I got a $30 million beach house right here. I own free and clear. I've got a $30 million house in the desert that's an hour and a half away. I own that free and clear. I've got an island I just bought off the coast of Portland, Maine, 11,000 feet of ocean frontage. It's the best piece of property in the United States. I just bought it free and clear. I fly there on my Global Express jet, free and clear. I bought it from Larry Ellison from Oracle. I have no debt. I owe no man nothing. I've been financially independent a very, very long time and stone-ass wealthy just about as long. Yet, I would rather be here looking into my laptop than sitting on that beach right now. Because I can look at the beach. It's great. It's beautiful. I'll go out there probably tonight and have a glass of wine with my wife, but I would rather be here helping you because this expands my being. This expands my identity. The more I do this, the more I believe I'm worthy of more abundance. The more you help people, there's something in you that changes that thermostat setting. At the event, if you're going, I'll help you change your thermostat setting. In the meantime, I'm going to help you recruit better. So let's go through a few minutes of just that. Then I'll throw it back to Eric and I. That alone will explain to you why you must grow you. So go follow me. Turn your notifications on. Watch my stuff. It's every day. I post at 7:30 Pacific time on Instagram every day. I'm mainly Instagram, my podcast, and YouTube. Okay. I want to give you the recruiter's mindset. How does a recruiter think? A really good recruiter. Here's what a really good recruiter thinks. You ready? Everybody wants in. They just don't know it yet. That's what a recruiter believes. They believe everybody wants in my business. They just don't know it. You know, like when you prospect people, they're kind of smirking at you like, oh. The great recruiters are smirking back. You want in, you just don't know it yet. You don't know how amazing this is. You don't know how much your life could change. You don't know how much better you feel about yourself. You don't know the difference you'd make for you and other people. You just don't know it yet. Now, what's the underlying belief for that? So the recruiter believes you want in, you just don't know it yet. I'm going to elaborate on that at the event as well. But what do you have to believe that? Here's what you have to believe. It's really simple. Everybody's life would be better in some measurable way by having an association with me and my team and my company. Let me say it to you again. Everybody's life would be better in some measurable way by having an association with me, my team, and my company. If you actually believe that, you say, well, that not everybody's going to make money. No, they're not. But could their life be better? What if just for a week they were in your business, and for the first time in a really long time, they saw good people doing good things, helping people, having fun? What if just for a week, all they did was stay in your business and learn about personal development or learn about faith? Or what if just for a week in the business, someone complimented them and just said, wow, great looking shirt. You look great tonight. You know, we do that in our business, right? No one said that to them in 15 years. Great shirt. You look handsome tonight. Man, you look sharp. And they go back that night for the first time in 3 months and go, babe, you look beautiful tonight. And their marriage is just better for that one night. And then it just starts a ripple effect in their marriage. It's better. They leave your business. They never make any money. They never follow up. They never recruit anybody. Their life was better. So if you begin to predicate, some of you predicate, well, if everyone's not making money, if everyone's not winning financially, then this is just useless. That's not true. So if you can get yourself to believe that everybody's life's measurably better some way by just having an association with us, and they want that, they just don't know it yet. Now you're a recruiter. Now you're confident. Why? Certainty is influence. Certainty is influence. The most certain person always influences the less certain person. So if you have those two belief systems, you're more certain that they should get involved than they are that they aren't, because you have more information than them. The problem for many of you, with all due respect, is they're more sure they shouldn't than you are that they should. And that's why you're not influencing people. Next thing, remember this, you're always making people feel something. So be intentional about what they're feeling. You're making them feel something about you. They don't believe it. They're insecure. They're not buying this. They're losing, or they really believe in this. And by the way, you don't have to be winning yourself to get someone to believe they could win there. Those things are not correlated. Most of the biggest recruits in the history of this industry were recruited by people who were not currently financially successful. Did you know that? Almost all of us. The person who recruited me into the industry had made $3,000 full-time in 4 years. Yet I've generated hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue in this industry. So you're thinking that if you need to be successful in order to get other people to believe that they can do this is an absolute fallacy happening in your mind. Okay? Now, a couple more things that I just want to give you on recruiting, and I'm going to talk about the rest of it at the event. You have to separate the invitation from the presentation. Too many of you are presenting as you're inviting. They are two different things. Let me give you an example. If I were single and I wanted to ask a woman, I'm not single. I met my wife in kindergarten, so I'm not an expert on being single, and I'm 50 years old. So I'm probably the least qualified person to tell you about being single. But if I were, here's what I know I wouldn't do. If I wanted to ask you out on a date, I would ask you out on a date. I wouldn't ask you to marry me when we first met. So many of you are convoluting you want to get a cup of coffee with, and by the way, do you want to win? Do you have the ear to ground for an opportunity? Are you the type of person looking for upward mobility? Are you looking to make additional cash flow? Would you like to help more people? Want to get married? You freak people out. Get the invitation. Get the commitment to listen to the movie. Then give them the preview. Then they'll watch the movie. Too many of you are trying to have them watch the movie the first 10 seconds you're talking to them. That repels people. It seems desperate, right? Just invite them. Just invite them. Now I'm really going to help you. Okay. Last thing I'm going to tell you. What's the number one objection you get when you ask somebody to take a look at your business? Let me tell you what it is. They're busy. Timing. Most people don't have the heart to go, I think you're a loser. No. Or, are you crazy? I'm way better than that. That's not what they say. Even though they might be thinking it, that's not what they say. What do people say? Oh, we've got plans. Or we're really busy right now. Timing's not great. Right? Isn't that what most people say? In fact, the statistics tell us that 93% of the objections people get to look at a business is timing. It's timing. They use timing as the out. Isn't that fascinating? Isn't that amazing? You can distill down that the number one objection that people give you back is, we're just too busy right now. Timing's not work. I can't make it. We're busy. And they believe if they continue to tell that, to you that you'll just eventually go away, which most people do. So that's the number one objection we get to looking at our business. Now, the number one mistake you make that makes them say that oftentimes is you're trying to present when you invite. Invite to take a look. That's it. Invite, get the commitment, and then let the presentation happen at another time. The number one thing they're giving you is timing. So how do you inoculate from that? Here's how you inoculate from that. You have a warm market of people, so do your new recruits. The first thing that they should be asking people, in my humble opinion, and I know a lot about this, is, let's say your presentations, I'm just making it up right now, are Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. It doesn't matter when they are. They could be 24 hours a day. Doesn't matter. You're still going to ask for a time. Okay. The number one opening question when prospecting should always be, when someone's in their warm market, calling a warm market, is, so if I'll give you an example. My really good friend is a guy named Kelly. He's one of my really, really good friends. Okay. Here's the truth. We're really good friends. He'll look at anything that I'm interested in, unless I say it really stupid. Right. So what I should say to Kelly is, because me and Kelly go to dinner, we go to a ball game, we play golf together, just like all your recruits do things with their markets. What I want to say to Kelly first is not, hey, brother, I found something I'm really intrigued by, and I'd like to share it with you. And blah, 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 blah. Now I'm into the movie. He's like, dude, what happened to you? Right. So I don't want to do that. Right. Even though it's taught in the industry all the time. That's not what I want to do, because I know 93% of the time, all he's going to do is tell me he's busy anyway. It's hard for someone to process past this point. So what I would do when I'm prospecting Kelly, if I had a new recruit and I'd say, hey, Ed Milet, you're going to contact Kelly Gwynn. I want you to text Kelly Gwynn and say, Kelly, what do you got going Tuesday at 6 o'clock? That's the text. What do you got going at blankety blank time and date? You know what Kelly's going to hit me back with? Because he thinks I'm calling to go get a pizza. He thinks we're going to a Laker game. He thinks I'm going to have him over for a bottle of wine. He's going to go, nothing, bro. Why? What's up? Oh, good. Here's what I want you to do. And you invite them. Now, his mind's scrambling for what his objection is going to be, because he already told me he was available. That's the way you invite. Pre the invite, you frame it with, what do you have going on at blankety blank time? What do you have going on at 3 o'clock on Wednesday? Nothing, man. Why? What's up? Well, bang, invite, then present. So to me, the flow of proper progression of inviting is remove the time objection. What do you got going at blankety blank time? Nothing. And even if they are booked, then, oh man, actually it's the kids' soccer game. Okay, cool. What do you got Wednesday at 3? Oh, we're open. Why? What's up? Invite, then present. So it's take the time objection away. You've eliminated 93% of the no's, then invite, then present. And I believe if you'll begin to do that more with yourself and your recruits, you're going to find that it's very difficult to object to the invitation when it's just an invitation to look at something, especially when it's a Zoom link, that's nothing. The invitation, and you've already taken away what their objection would be, which was time, because they think they're going to do something cool with you. By the way, that's not bait and switch. That's an open question. Bait and switch is different than that. An open question is just, what do you got going? I ask my friends that all the time. In fact, it's Friday, and I did that this morning with another friend of mine, because I want to see if he wants to come over and have a cigar later. Actually, it's my guy right here. I said, Jerry, what do you got going tonight? You got anything open 6 to 8? He's like, no, man, I got nothing. I go, cool, come over for a cigar. But I could have said, cool, I want you to look at something with me. And then I would have the invite book, and then I would have done the presentation between 6 and 8 o'clock. So I hope that helps y'all. And the last thing I'm going to tell you is this. Just remember this. You were born to do something great with your life, and you know it. That's why you're on this call. That's why you're in the industry. You know intuitively there's something in you that I'm supposed to do something great with my life. I'm born to do more. There's more in me. My being is vibrating at such a point. God's calling me to do something bigger in my life. I know it. I feel it. It's in me. I can't articulate it. I don't even know the words for it, but I feel it like in my heart. When I get quiet, I know I'm capable of more. I know that I am. And I'm telling you that the first start doing that is getting thermostat setting starting to roll upwards, 75, 78, 79, 85, 90. That happens through proximity and through association, a bunch of other things that I'll teach you. But then at the same time, it's getting skilled. It's getting great at what you do. It's becoming a professional inviter, a professional recruiter, which includes two pieces, the mindset of it and the actual day-to-day execution of doing it. The person with the biggest team ultimately wins, and the person with the biggest team is the best at executing on invitations and then developing leaders. And leaders are thermostat settings. It's a very simple formula on how to build a big team here. You got to get good at changing people's and your own thermostat settings. You got to get good at inviting for people to take a look at your business. You do those two things, you are an unstoppable force as long as you're in a good company with a good product, with a good support system. That's just the bottom line. So hopefully that helps. I'm looking forward to speaking. I'm not going to say what date and time either, but I will tell you that very, very specific stuff with me when we come. I love this stuff right here. Oh, challenge. I'd like you each to
wait. Don't do the challenge yet.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I just want to recap this because it's just golden, and I can't wait for your keynote at the GoPro event where you go deeper on these topics, and everybody's putting in the chat like, I got to go back and listen to this again. I want to recap. I got eight key things on my from his quick little talk, and I want you to put into the chat, into the comments, which one resonated for you the most. Okay. And just put the number in 1 through 8 as I go through them. Number 1 is the thermostat concept. That's number 1. Number 2, your prospects wants in, they just don't know it yet. That's the posture of a great recruiter. Number 3, everybody's life, the belief that everybody's life is going to be better by joining. That's posture again. Number 4, certainty is influence. Certainty is influence. Whoever believes the most is more certain, is going to be more influential. Number 5, make people feel something special. You're going to make them feel something positive, something intriguing for them. Make them feel something positive. Number 6, separate the invitation from the presentation. Such a great little tiny distinction, but it's monumentally huge. Separate the invitation from the presentation. You should see all the numbers flying inside of here, Ed, in the chat. It's crazy. Number 7, the people are busy because of timing. Ask the question, what do you have going on such and such a date at such and such a time? Really clean. And then when they respond to that, then you do the invitation, but don't do the presentation then. That's number 7. And number 8, you're all born to do something great. Learn the skills and get the mindset necessary to unlock all of that, to be able to make it all happen. So, Ed, first of all, thank you for bringing some value today. I really, really appreciate it. And I've wanted to have you in our world for a long time. The value that you bring is just enormous, and I'm sure everybody's going to be following you on all the various platforms and listening to the podcast. Do that if you want to get this type of mindset training from this man. So throw your
thing about you. I just want to make sure I reciprocate something. I didn't do this justice. I've been listening to you, Eric, and your stuff has been shared with me prior to me even existing on social media. I've only been on there about 5 years. I did that very reluctantly. It's sort of the bequest of Tony Robbins. But your work has made it, and by the way, even when you listen to me teach things, that the more people listen to me, they're going to go, wow, he has listened to Eric. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge that with you. And I don't just say that. That's a real thing. You are revered in this space and out of this space by people that look at you on the outside and see the way that you teach things. John Wooden is really my favorite leader, really, in the sports world of all time. And the reason he's my favorite leader is he felt himself a teacher first and an inspirer second. I believe you're the greatest teacher in this space, and your work, I mean, people that I really respect that are at very high levels in multiple different organizations started to share your work with me many years ago. So I just want to make sure I acknowledge you too, brother. This is your tribe, your group. And so it's easy to kind of, take you for granted. I say that with all the sincerity in the world. You're amazing.
Well, that's very humbling, my friend. It's been fun to watch you do your thing, and that's why I do what I do, and that's why you do what you do. It's for contribution, for purpose, for paying it forward. I tried to model a little bit of my career path around Jim Rohn. Try and find somebody who says something bad about Jim Rohn. You're gonna hunt a long time. When I'm said and done, I want the world to know that we did everything we could to give value to people. So Ed, talk about the challenge. What specific challenge can you give them today that they can go take action on?
I like simple things. So I think that you can do it on your Facebook or if you want to, but I actually think I like small digestible things that you try, right? Like one thing about when I teach is I always tell people, I coach them, I go, the things I think and then there's things I know. And I'll tell you the difference. Sometimes I'm going to say, I think this will work. There's other times based on my experience, I go, I know this is right. And I'll tell you the difference. I think a good leader will do that. And so I know what I'm about to tell you. If you'll just take your phone today and text 10 people individually, not in a group. What do you got going at blankety blank time? Just open that space and start that process. Now, if you want to take that and say, hey, listen, I'm going to put it in a group. Hey, what's everybody got going this weekend? Or what's everybody got going next Wednesday at 2? You could do that. But I believe individual communication oftentimes, even though I have a very big following on social media, I believe individual communication has about 10 times the power of group communication. And so DM me if you this, those are good things. People produce results from them and they work. So I'm not suggesting not to do that. But the power is magnified at least 10 times. When you just take that phone out today and you just go, I'm going to select these 10. And my only opening today, and it's today, is whatever your next opportunity is, or when, let's say you have a 24/7 BPM, just pick a time, right? Monday, 9:30 a.m., whatever it is. I don't care. Saturday, 10:15 a.m. What do you got going Saturday around 10 a.m.? That's it. And just see what happens. Number one, you will be replied to. You won't get ghosted. And it's going to open up the dialogue. And then let's just start there and start the movement of what that means. I believe if you do that with 10 people, that there's a high likelihood that by the time you get back on the next call, you've got an active direct recruit in your business, at least one of them, potentially multiple ones. So let's just start there today. Simple, tangible, bite-sized, doable, easy challenge that if you have any intent of actually doing something with your business, you would be willing to do right now. So what do you got going at blankety blank time? 10 people text today.
All right. So we're going to call that the 10 text challenge. You've got 24 hours to do that. Send 10 text messages to 10 people with what do you have going on such and such a date at such and such a time. When you complete that, post into the Facebook group, the GoPro Challenge Facebook group, that you have completed it, and that will make you eligible for the prize giveaway that we're going to be giving away between today and tomorrow. Okay. So Ed, listen, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to let you go, but I cannot wait till GoPro when you rock the house. We have almost 60,000 people registered, paid tickets. It's going to be a big network marketing history. People watching from over 100 countries around the world, and you're going to absolutely demolish from that stage. I can't wait. Can't wait for you to see the studio too. I think you're going to love it.
I'm really
here in Las
fired up
Vegas.
about it. Really, really fired up. And I promise everybody, I'll bring my A game. I promise you. I have that much admiration for Eric and all of you, so I'll make sure I bring it.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 100, put into the comments what you got out of this from Ed. 1 to 100. Let me see.
I better see at least 100.
All I'm seeing is hundreds. I'm seeing thousands and lots of numbers. But anyway, Ed, have a fantastic day. We'll catch up soon. I appreciate you, man.
God bless everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
All right. Hold on. If you can hear me, I'll be back in a second. Yeah, I'm still here. Can everybody hear me? Can they see me? Everything's good. All right, good. It's just my monitor. All right, cool. So look, in 20 minutes, if he did that in 20 minutes, imagine what he's going to do at GoPro. It's going to be amazing at GoPro. And we got a bunch more surprises that we're going to be not prizes, but surprises that we're going to be sharing with you between now and then. It's going to be amazing. So let me I want to give you, can I use the board here, Alexi? I'm going to give you 6 quick things that you can do in order to be able to close more business. Give me a fresh page. Do I just do this? Okay, don't touch anything, he says. So I won't touch anything. All right, cool. So I want to give you 6 simple questions to ask your prospect that's thinking about it right now, or what to do specifically at the end of a presentation. Okay? Not in an invitation, but in a presentation. You ready to take notes on this? 1. Board's not working. Hold on, we'll get it working. Do I need to do something? There we go. Okay, number 1. Technical difficulties. All right, I'm going to have you write this down and put it in the chat. You ready? Just leave it. It's fine. Number one, what did you like best? Write that into the chat so everybody has it. Number one, what did you like best? What did you like best on what you just saw, what you just experienced, what you just listened to? What did you like best? This has the prospect go in their mind and find something positive. What did you like best? It's 1,000 times better than what did you think? What did you like best? Number two, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of interest? 10, you're most interested. 1, very low interest. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your level of interest? Okay, you got the first two. What did you like best? On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your level of interest? Okay, number 3 is, and I have a little bit longer script, so if some of you can type fast, put that in, that's great. If not, you get the transcript later. But the short version is hours per week. Hours per week. Put that into the comments. Hours per week as the third question. Hours per week. And I will give you the broadened script on that. Here's the broadened script. What did you like best? Scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of interest? Number 3 is, realistically, if you got started in this business on a part-time basis, approximately how many hours per week could you commit to developing that business? I'll say it again. Realistically, if you decide you were going to build this business, approximately how many hours per week could you commit to developing that business and growing that business? That's question number 3. Got it? I see a bunch of people putting it in. Thank you for typing fast. Question number 4, and we'll go through this together, but question number 4 is months. Months. Right? Months in for number 4. And I'll give you the long version. So I've asked, what'd you like best? Scale of 1 to 10. How many hours per week? And the fourth one is, how many months would you be willing to work the hours per week that you said while you were, you know what I did? I messed up. I totally messed up. We have to start over. So one, can't believe I did that. That never happens to me. Number 1, what'd you like best? Number 2, scale of 1 to 10. Number 3 is monthly income. Monthly income. Okay? So scratch over your notes, monthly income. So here's the 3 question. If you decided to get involved in this business, how much would you need to earn per month in order to be able to make this worth your time? How much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? And worth your time is critical because everybody has a number that's worth their time. How much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? Then question number 4 is, realistically, how many hours per week? Question number 5 is, how many months would you be prepared to work those hours while you're developing the income that would be worth your time? And then question number 6 is, if I would you. If I would you. And we're going to go through this together again. If I would you. If I could show you how to develop a X number of income working whatever number of hours you said over the course of however many months that you agreed, would you be prepared to get started or at least take the next step? If I could show you, would you be prepared to take the next step or get signed up? Okay? So now I'm going to do this with all of you. Okay? I want you to be the prospect, and I'm going to be the distributor finishing a presentation with you. Okay? If you're ready, say, put a number 1 into the comments if you're ready. If you're ready. If you're going to play along with me. Okay. Got it. Ready? Here we go. Let's say and I want you to make up in your mind, tie it to your company. And I just did a presentation about your company and you hadn't joined your company yet. Okay, you ready? We finished the presentation and I say, wow, wasn't that amazing? What did you like best about the presentation? Type into the chat what you liked best about what you just saw. The results, the money, the flexibility, the opportunity, the speed, the honesty, the products, low investment, duplication, the money, the freedom. See all these answers? That's what you're going to get a lot of. These types of answers. So, and I want you to go back to the first time, the very first time that you saw this opportunity in your company, and I just finished a presentation, the very first time, not now that you've joined, but the very first time. That's great. I love that you love the freedom or the compensation plan or whatever. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of interest based upon what you've seen so far? 7s, 8s, 2, 1s, 10s, 8s. Lots of different numbers. Here's what I'll tell you. If they give you a 7 or higher, they're joining. And if they give you a low number, it's still fine. It just says that they have some things that they need to understand in order to be able, like you said, they want in, they just don't know it yet. Okay? So, third question. I want you to go back to your first presentation. Realistically, if you decided, let's say you gave me a 7 or something. Realistically, if you decided to get involved in this business, how much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? Realistically, go back to when you're a prospect. How much would you need to earn per month to make it worth your time? 1,000, 500, 4,000. Seen lots of different numbers. Put your number in, whatever that is, to make it worth your time. In real life, you're going to get lots of 500s and 1,000s, tons and tons of those. You won't get huge numbers for part-time income, realistic income when they first got involved. So that's question number 3. Let me ask question number 4. Let's say you said $2,000. How many hours a week do you think you could realistically commit to developing that $2,000 monthly income? Real life. See the numbers? 10, 20, 40, 30. Everybody's going to have a number. And what am I being when I'm asking these questions? I'm being a consultant. I'm gathering the facts. I'm getting the information. I'm seeing if there's a fit. Okay, so we've answered question number 4. Question number 5, how many months would you be willing to work that number of hours per week? How many months would you give it while you're developing this income to the level that would be worth your time? How many months would you be willing to invest? 12, 36, 6, 3, 6, 9. You see all the numbers. This is a real life example. When you're looking through the comments wherever you're watching, that's real life of what's going to happen. Lots of 6 months, lots of 9 months. Some say until it works, as many as needed. That's fine. Okay? But you're going to get some numbers. Got it? Now, last question is this. To all of you. If I could show you through our opportunity and our compensation plan how to develop a X number business per month, working however many hours that you said over the course of however many months you said. If I could show you how to achieve what you want to achieve, you just told me you want to achieve, would you be prepared to get started? You prepared at a minimum to take the next step? Yes or no? Do you feel how easy that flows? If you'll just ask these questions at the end of a presentation, or go back to the people who are thinking about it and just say, hey, I just wanted to follow up. What did you like best? Scale of 1 to 10. How do you evaluate this as an opportunity? Realistically, how much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? How many hours a week could you commit to developing that type of an income? And how many months would you be willing to work those hours while you were building your business up to that income? If I could show you how to do it, would you be ready to get started? Now, are you twisting somebody's arm? Are you persuading somebody is that a hardcore closing technique? Is that, are you pushy like a car salesman or whatever? No offense to car sales people. Are you pushy? You're not pushy. Is it going to take a little practice? Sure. But literally, if you wrote those 6 down and you read them off of a card and you read them to your prospect, even if you said to your prospect, now look, I have to read you these 6 questions. So is it okay if I read these to you? All right, here's question number 1. I'm supposed to ask, what did you like best about the presentation? And they give it to you. And I say, all right, now the next question I'm supposed to ask is, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of interest? All right, here's the third question I have to ask. How much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? All right, got it. Write it down. Got it. How many hours a week could you commit to developing that type of income? All right, got it. 14 hours, perfect. How many months would you be willing to work those hours per week while you were building up to that income? 9 months, all right, got it. So you want $1,500 a month, working 10 hours a week, and you're willing to commit to working those 15 hours a week over the course of the next 9 months in order to be able to get to that level. Do I have that right? All right, I got it. Okay, cool. Here's the 6th question. If I could show you how to develop that $1,500 working 10 hours a week over the course of the next 9 months, would you be prepared to get started? Or at least take the next step? Oh, answer is yes? Okay, cool. Now, if their answers are unrealistic, Deborah asks, if their answers are unrealistic, let's say somebody comes in and, you ask them, what do you like best? Oh, I like the money. Scale of 1 to 10, what are you? I'm a 5. How much would you need to earn per month to make this worth your time? I'd need at least $10,000 a month. And let's say part-time, you want to make $10,000 a month. Part-time. Do you mind me asking how much you're making now? Or let's say that they want $10,000 a month, working 2 hours a week in the next 3 months. I'm like, well, there's people making $10,000 a month in our company working part-time, but did they get there in 3 months, working 2 hours a week? No, I'm not saying you can't do it, but it's likely that one of those numbers has got to shift a little bit. So you can push back a little, but let me just give you a tip. They almost never give you crazy, outrageous, unrealistic answers. Almost never. Okay? They give you real ones. Now, why do I say, are you ready to get started, or at least take the next step at the end? I say that because they might want to try the product. They might want to understand the compensation plan more. They might want to, talk to their spouse. They might want to, I don't know, kick the tires. That's cool. That's fine. No problem. And take the next step. Our job is to get people into conversation and continue the conversation. How do we do that? Objections are your best friend. We'll talk a little bit more about objections tomorrow. Your objections are your best friend. What if they say, I have to think more about this? That's fantastic. What can I do to help you think about it? You know, would trying the product help? Would take a look at the compensation plan help? Would talking with my upline help? Would watching this video help? What can I do to help you, properly think about it? Okay? Then give them that thing and set up a time to follow up. Don't stress too much. They tell you they don't have the money. Look, you just told me that this amount of money would be worth your time, these hours and these months. I'll talk a little bit more about objections tomorrow, but we don't have time today. There's a very simple process, a 4-step process to answering any objection. It's very simple, and I'll teach you tomorrow, okay? Very, very simple. Got it? So I want you to try these 6 questions, even if you have to write them down, have them on a piece of paper in front of the other person. Here's the questions that I have to read you. All right, I'm going to read them. Got it? Pretty simple, right? So I'll help you with objections tomorrow. But for today, how many people are excited to see Ed Milet on the GoPro stage? Put a number 7 into the comments. How many are excited to see him on the stage at GoPro, bringing the heat, bringing the value? Now, guess what's the only way you're going to be able to see the event that we have and see Ed Milet? That's attending GoPro. If you don't have your ticket, here's all the things. Show them the full slide with all of the stuff. Here's all the things that you get when you buy a $197 ticket today. Here's what you get. You ready? It's coming. It's coming. We'll throw it up on the screen. Here's all the stuff that you get for a $197 ticket. Let's go. Here you get the GoPro ticket. You get the power training course, or the course is 9 different courses, $3,200 worth of courses to be able to learn the skills. You get the Instagram stories course. You get a 4-week coaching program that starts this next Monday. It's going to be amazing, that 4-week course. And all you have to do is go to GoPro2021.com. You get all of that for $197. $197. I mean, come on. Can't do better than that. You get it all. GoPro2021.com. Tell your friends. GoPro2021.com. The training starts each Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. 9 a.m. Pacific time, and you'll get the Zoom for the training each week, and we'll also have it in the virtual GoPro 2021 Facebook group. Okay, if you already have your ticket, go apply to get into that private group. And that's where we're going to be training. And I've got another little secret for you. We're going to do way more than just those 4 in the coaching program inside of that group. Way more. We got a lot of stuff. It's going to be recorded. You'll have access to recordings, all of that stuff. You'll have the replays. It's all going to be great. But it starts next Monday. What is that? What day is today? Friday? It starts in 3 days. It's going to be amazing. And guess what? I'm going to be bringing all of the different speakers that are going to be speaking at GoPro are going to be part of this month, this November to remember, that we're going to put together as we prepare for GoPro. It's going to be spectacular. So GoPro2021.com. That's it for now. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Jesse Lee Ward, who's recruited, 9,000 people personally. It's going to give you some great tips on social media and everything else. It's amazing. Tomorrow, tell everybody, 11 a.m. Pacific. And also, I'm going to be training you on how to overcome any objection that you might have. Time, money, talk to people, got to think about it, whatever it happens to be. That's all tomorrow. Tell everyone. If you don't have your ticket, get your ticket. $197. GoPro is going to be amazing. And make sure, do this right now. If you have your ticket already, go to Facebook right now and go to Virtual GoPro 2021 private group and apply to get access. And we'll look and see if you got a ticket, and we'll help you join. Okay. Virtual GoPro 2021 Facebook group. private Facebook group. Apply there because that's where all the training is going to be. Everything's recorded here this whole week. So if you already have your ticket, put a number 3 into the comments. You already have your ticket. Let me see. And put a number 10 into the comments if you don't have it yet, but you're going to go get it. You're going to be a part of this. Put a 10 into the comments if you don't have it yet, but you're going to go get it. All right, fantastic. VirtualGoPro2021.com. VirtualGoPro2021.com. That's it. We're going to go backstage with the VIPs and do some Q&A. Everybody have a spectacular day. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.